Well, recently a lot for Doctor Who. That's more in the workshop. Harry Potter was unique in that I worked for 8 months in the workshop, but also they have these big scenes with lots of prosthetic makeup, and I was on set for maybe 3 or 4 days for Harry Potter as well. That's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So yeah, those. Game of Thrones, the last 3 seasons, I've worked probably maybe 3 months each year on each Game of Thrones season. So, and that's in the workshop, not so much on the set, which is great because supposedly the set was freezing cold and lots of wind and smoke and all that sort of thing. So I didn't mind not being on set for that one. Yeah, those are the kind of big ones. And then lots of things in between, lots of other projects. So more than anything, so I kind of do a lot of teaching. So I think I not only teach makeup, but I also teach mold making and teach painting and that sort of thing. And that's mostly in England. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great mix of kind of really organised stuff, but it has a real kind of fun vibe to it, and all the kind of theming and decoration kind of makes you kind of think that it's a place where creative things are done and things are made, things are built and thought of. So, you know, it's very sort of inviting and very sort of cool, really. You know, I think a lot of schools can be these really kind of formal places, and it just has a kind of cool vibe to it. And, you know, and obviously Tom's name is there, you know, and all the things that he's worked on, but it just has this really kind of cool vibe to it. Things like making teeth and making eyes and doing ZBrush, really, well, I don't sort of see in any other school so much, certainly the ZBrush. And I think that really sort of wide encompassing kind of teaching, you know, where they not only see kind of designs of makeup and creatures, but also sculpting and mold making and making everything in painting. Quite a fantastic thing, really. And I think they probably at the beginning, they don't know what they like, but maybe what they like is something different than what they're good at. And then eventually they, after, you know, the course, after the school, they kind of feel much more confident and secure about things. But yeah, it's interesting, and I think they all have a very kind of serious attitude towards being here and making it work for their career. So. Using CGI it becomes another tool in the toolbox for filmmakers, and I think there is a real commitment to doing things that actually exist, that are in the room, that actors can react to, that monsters have a kind of weight and a kind of feeling that they're actually there. And I think filmmakers like that feeling. I think a lot of times CGI creatures, they seem like they've been made at different times than the rest of what's going on in the scene, and they have. So I think filmmakers don't think that CGI will fix everything, is the one answer to everything. So I think it kind of operates side and side. I think some things will, like I did a makeup where we had to find a guy with one arm, and I think now we can actually take a person's arm and CGI it away. So I think in those ways it becomes easier. But I think shows like Game of Thrones, like American Horror Story, like The Walking Dead, all those shows use both CGI and makeup practical effects at the same sort of equal importance, and they complement each other. I think those departments are working together to get the director's vision on screen, and I think when they compete, when the CGI thinks that it's going to be better than the practical effects, or the practical effects are going to be better than the CGI, that's when it falls down. That's when things don't really work. So I think those as examples of things that are really quite fantastic, and you watch those shows, and sometimes you don't know how things are done. You have no idea, and that really is evidence that they've fooled you, they've done the magic trick.
Douglas Education Center, anything but ordinary. For more information, go to dec.edu.